Okay, today we're going to show you an adductor deadlift. I actually call this a Chelsea because I saw Chelsea Handler doing it first with her trainer, Ben Bruno, I think is his name. So in the gym here, we call them the Chelseas. All right, we're going to show you from the front, and then we'll film it from the side as well so you can really see form, because you can't really see anybody's form from the front, but you can see their setup. So we want to elevate one of the feet. I have yoga blocks here because depending on how flexible you are in your inner thigh, will you point to the adductor for me? There we go. Like Vanna White. You may not be able to have the foot elevated this much. You can elevate it more or you can elevate it less. What we want is a nice amount of tension on the inner thigh so it feels like a good stretch, but in no way, shape, or form should there be any pain. Okay, so we have the leg that is extended. It's slightly in front of the other foot. That's to allow for even extension in the back. Megan is holding the dumbbell in the same hand of the leg that's extended. You can hold the dumbbell behind you if you'd like. Go ahead and do that real quick. That'll help you keep your chest up from the move if you feel like you want that kind of support. You can hold it with both hands in front, but I prefer to teach it with one hand behind the back so you can actually feel that your back is flat and that you're having good extension. Okay, so this is a hinge movement. We are going to feel glute on the stabilizing leg, maybe a little hamstring, and then we're going to get a nice stretch on the inner thigh. Beautiful. So Megan is simply hinging back, and as she hinges, the chest is coming down. All right, now we're going to put that move onto the side. I'm going to put these against a wall so I don't have to hold them. You'll want that same setup at a gym too so that you don't have to worry about this wobbling. Again, you can use a bench if you have that kind of range, or a step if you have one in your basement. It's a Goldilocks situation. You got to find the height that's right for you. All right, so Megan's going to put her foot on the blocks. And again, this foot is slightly in front of this foot so that we get a good extension in the back. 80% or even 90% of her weight is on this leg. This is almost just a kickstand to keep from falling over. Okay, shoulders, hips, quads, and core to create tension in the body. Then she's going to extend both hips back, aiming at an imaginary wall behind her as if she's trying to tap her butt cheeks to that wall. Notice the shin is staying vertical. Sometimes we can see too much knee bend there. If you find that you can't control the knee bend, likely your other leg is too high and you just don't have the space to extend without the knee bend. She's feeling this in the glute here. Her hips are nice and even. If you notice your hips are like this or like this, the leg is probably too high. Okay, things that could go wrong here. We're going to take the weight so she doesn't get hurt. All right, first thing, we're talking about the head. So if you watch Megan's head when she's in her hinge, her neck follows her spine. She's not looking up, she's not looking down, she's not checking out the hot person to her right. Here's my husband. Come on up. So she got her neck in line with her spine. She's also keeping that chest nice and big to keep the shoulders from dumping forward. Let's go into the hinge and show what it's like when the shoulders dump forward. So a lot of times in this position, that hand is going to try and reach towards the bottom because the brain thinks you're trying to put something on the floor, and you go ahead and come up. So what it would look like in that case, reaching down. I don't know if it'll make that noise, but you want to keep the shoulder pulled back and down. Okay, another thing that can happen, let's get too much knee bend in here this time, is this could happen. So now we're kind of in between a squat and a hinge, but we might be feeling a little bit more quad here when we want to feel glute. You're not going to get hurt in that way, but chances are the leg is too high, as we mentioned, the one that's extended, causing the knee to bend. Okay. Another thing we're going to look at is the pelvis position. So as we talked about, the pelvis is either neutral, that doesn't work right, neutral, dumped, or arched. There we go. All right, so let's see neutral. Okay, let's see dumped. Yeah, that's a nice dump. You finally were holding hands. And let's see extended, overly so. There we go. Come on up. All right, thanks.